Hello and welcome to Move the Line Prop Drop Show presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I am Ryan Noonan back to talk about the best way, the most profitable way to bet on NFL football, and that is through player props. We are live here a little bit earlier than normal on the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. We are here to talk Week 17 props and take your questions. So if you're hanging out with us now live on the stream, we greatly appreciate that. Appreciate folks who have been riding live with us all season. It's been a great time. As you know, our favorite part is the end of the show. We can get to as many questions as you can. Jump in the chat. Let us know what your favorite prop look is for the week. Pretty full board. Injury reports coming out. Friday afternoon's very busy. So maybe some stuff that's not out yet that you're looking at. Let us know. We want our opinion on that. We're happy to get to that as well. Again, joining us live on YouTube. If you're new, it's the best chance for you to get the same number and price on these props. They move very quickly. We have a very thirsty audience that we appreciate. But, podcast is available as well. Later on Friday evening, wherever you listen to podcasts as well. Subscribe to both so you don't miss a show. I will be continuing to roll here all the way through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. Checking us out. We appreciate it for the first time. Joining us here as always from location unknown, background ever-changing, country probably ever-changing as well. Connor Allen, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, found random office space here, and it says think outside the box. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get some off-the-wall, outside-the-box plays, just channel that energy right now. I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, just feeling the vibes and excited to bring you some winners, So some betting methods a little unconventional this weekend, but, hey, we're getting the money down, we're cashing checks, and bringing winners.
You got to love, Connor – almost always on vacation. Just challenging. He's definitely top 5 in the company and vacations. But I respect it. Still here working though, right? So we have people that take vacations that don't do a thing. Connor's still grinding here for the people. So, Slob, what's going on, buddy?
I'd argue that you guys have people that don't take vacations, but also don't do a thing. But I digress.
That's a thing too, bud.
Where are you, Connor?
I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I'll be in Cancun tomorrow for the next week or so, though.
Okay. Sweet. I live vicariously through Connor. I'm about to go to a 4th grade girls basketball game right after this. So there's that. Not to brag.
Love it.
I mean, also
almost the same thing
myself. But hey, man, what's up? I can't wait, dude. I got 3 that I absolutely love. That I seriously probably can't lose. I don't know if you guys remember last week, but I did not lose, I don't think, except for the ones that I did. I think it's swept. But I think we're sweeping again, though, because there's 3 that are just obvious.
Yeah. No, there's a couple. I've seen some stuff on the Twitter feed going today, some stuff I agree with. So I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. I got a bunch today. Connor and I have one that was shared, one that I really like that was on the board and came off the board. I really don't know why. So talk about that. I'm going to just probably rapid fire at some point. We typically will rapid fire some defensive stuff as well. Don't forget to check out Slop on Twitter at Slop Rules and all of his stuff on Odds Jam as well. That's him. You're going to want that stuff. So good stuff as always there. This is the second episode of Move the Line. Each week we do game preview shows early in the week. This week it was Thursday. Also, again, doesn't matter if you just subscribe to the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel or the podcast feed, you will get that. That's me, Connor, Sharp Clark, talking more sides and totals, more game breakdowns and previews and stuff like that. Did that yesterday. Check it out. You can also scoop up the betting subscription if you want to get all the official plays. Connor and I put these plays out here on the show. These are things that we're actually playing, but little do you know, we actually give them to our subscribers a couple minutes earlier. So we want to reward our people that take care of us. Because sometimes these lines move quickly. We want to make sure we do that for them as well. If you want in on that, you can head over to 4for4.com/plans. Again, it gets you access to everything that we do at 4for4, still betting NBA. Again, that's going to take you through the end of February. You can bet with us for the rest of the year. Feels like we're wrapping up because we're in week 17, but still, again, like all the playoff weeks, Super Bowl stuff, all that, you can check it out over on the website. More information here on in the show notes if you scroll down here a little bit. So, all right, Connor, no stale bread, live lines. You can get us started here with week 17. What are we looking to do?
Yeah, we're getting it started off hot here. We're going to go with Chris Olave over 66.5 receiving yards. Was this one of Slop? Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding. I love this, though. It was my backup one. So now I'm screwed. if you guys take one of my tweets. Go ahead.
Love it. Yeah, he's coming off of a monster game, 123 yards. But I'm ready to go back to the well here because we're looking at Olave without Michael Thomas, 94, 114, 119, 28 where he was injured mid-game, and then 123 receiving yards. Now draws the Bucs, who've been ripped by multiple different wideouts over the last few weeks, including Drake London for 172, Brandon Ayuk for 156, and Michael Pittman for 107. I mean, there are tons of good receivers who have just absolutely blown up against them. Their injury report still has problems. Looks like Carlton Davis, another linebacker, also might not play. And we're looking at also, on top of all this, Chris Olave against the blitz, 30% target share. Tampa Bay loves the blitz. And Derek Carr, last time they played, I think people were a little bit scared because he didn't throw the ball downfield much. He checked the ball down a bunch, but he was injured. And so I don't think that really matters. I don't really put too much stock into that. He's been ripping the ball downfield. Olave could have 150 at half, like Amari Cooper, First half line, we joked about it on the show. It was a first half line. So I like the over at 66.5, and I played 90, 100, 110, 120 plus.
Yep, absolutely love it. Just all the reasons you said. I love the blitz angle too. I think that's really nice. Again, we joked about it on the game preview show. That was a week 4 matchup the first time they played, and there was no practice at all for Carr in that game. Everyone was surprised he even played, and then he just checked down all game. We had 61% of his completions in that game were at or behind the line of scrimmage. Just insane.
Kamara caught 1,000 passes.
13 for 33 yards is so hard to do. So yeah, I just think it's a very different scenario. So if you're just, again, using a singular data point in their previous matchup to make your handicap here, I think that's a massive mistake. So there's a ton of ways you could play it. I love the ladder situation because that's 66.5, 65.5 was out there not too long ago too. Yeah, just push the ceiling here. We've seen it quite a bit here for Olave. So yeah, absolutely love it. Slop, any thoughts here? Do we steal one of yours?
No, this plays perfect though. Tampa is where you go if you want to target receivers. I'm a big pass game guy, always have been, and that they are the exact type team you're looking for a receiver. And then given the fact that Carr just loves Olave, you can just tell. Watch the game last. I think it was Thursday night, the last time they played. Olave I think had 4 receptions on the first drive, maybe. It was just just throw to Olave. That's the play. Now you got Tampa, not great pass defense. Also, too, you got the angle of maybe the line suppressed a little bit just because of what happened last time. But you're right. Carr, his shoulder was barely on his body for that game. You know what I mean? He couldn't even throw it 2 yards down the field. So you can't even look at that. That game doesn't even count. I took it out of my personal records. It's gone. I erased it. So yeah, Olave. And then if you want more, just go more Olave.
Yeah, love it. How about you, Slop? First one for you for 17.
All right, so if you've been following on Twitter, I'm on step 5 of the ladder. I kind of changed the ladder a little bit. Instead of starting with 10, I start with 100. I don't know if you guys are familiar with math, but that cuts out multiple steps. So it's a 7-step ladder. Almost to 10K. I'm at the $1,300 one. It's got to be Jake Ferguson. The thing is, everybody's asking, I got it at 45.5 the other day. Would you still play it at the current line? I would say yes. We'll do it 50 plus at FanDuel, minus 108. He's gotten 8 targets in each of the last 4 games. He's a part of the Cowboys offense. He is he's a part of it. It's not just CeeDee Lamb. It's not just Dak, Dak and the other receiver. He's a big part. The last 2 home games where Dak actually plays well, he caught I think he went 70 plus in both of them. He's all over the place. The guy is nasty. Last 2 games, he was just below this number. He was in the mid 40s, I think, is where he finished. That was Dak's fault. That wasn't his fault. He had multiple targets that should have been catchable balls, weren't even close to him. But again, Dak plays better at home. We got the Lions, who are probably going to score all over the Cowboys. I'd say they're going to hang probably 25 plus points. Cowboys are going to have to do something to stay with them. I think they can because the Lions can't cover anybody. The Vikings tight end room just won 100 plus on them last week. This is just easy money. Easy money. 50 pluses. I'd be shocked if they don't go ahead and credit your account with a win after you put this in. I'm serious. Just go ahead and credit. Just give you the money. It's over.
That allows you to bet on more things, right? So it's smart of them because the around, just save the time, just get back in there. Receptions are 4.5. That's pretty juicy too. Yeah. Any interest in like what receptions or anything like that, or just like the receiving yards? Take those up.
The yards. I don't like the 5 reception. Like he's got to get 5, and it's like
Okay.
minus 1,000. I mean, it's like just way too high. You know what I mean? So you basically would have to go 6+ at that point. I'm not ready to do that, but he's gonna take one for 30+ yards. Watch, it's gonna be one of those stupid dump off plays that the play goes one way, it comes out the other way, they dump it off to him. We've seen it a million times, and he just flies down the field for 30 yards. Like there's gonna be stuff like that. It's gonna be, and it's on Saturday night too. So I mean, I did us a favor. Like we have appointment viewing now Saturday night, so feels good,
gentlemen.
It's great because I bet Jared Goff under. And so you're betting it over. I think that's a nice little sandwich there. So you're not just like hating yourself the entire game, watching every Jared Goff check down when he lands on like 230 yards. We sweat out the entire game to land under.
They're going to be able to run it.
Your Ferguson thing is going to hit in the first half. So.
Exactly. Well, the Lions are going to be able to run it, so it's going to ruin Goff. Like I already been through this in my brain. Like the mental simulation
100%.
I did, not great for Goff.
I've been debating how to play the running back situation because I think Gibbs is probably going to play a lot because, like, if they fall behind, like, Gibbs will be the guy. But if they stay with him, I mean, David Montgomery is going to see, like, 20 carries. But his price is, like, 13.5 rush times. We're looking at, like, 50 yards. So it's like – but I'm just worried. If they fall, like, 2 scores behind, it might just be a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs. So I don't know what to do with that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm staying away. That's the best thing to do.
Maybe it's just, like, hit, like, Montgomery 100+ or something like that. And then, or maybe Gibbs and Montgomery 70+. Because one of them's going to hit it. I just don't know which one.
Well, then do one of them rush it like the 100+, and then like Montgomery, then Gibbs, receiving over. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a ladder. So that way, if you know what I'm saying, like if either game script hits, like one of those is going to hit. Maybe even both, because Dallas looked pretty bad trying to tackle people. I mean, that not great.
It's hard to do. Tackle people, like some guys make it look easy.
In their defense, not easy. These are big dudes. Like I wouldn't be able to tackle them.
Large.
I wouldn't even try. Right. I'd go right at the legs.
Yeah, I don't want to judge because it's a tricky thing. So
Connor can probably tackle these guys. I mean, he can beat Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I mean Devontae Parker. I don't know if I can guard MVS, but I think that even if I 2 steps behind him, he still would drop the ball. So I don't think he would catch the ball either because he sucks. I mean, he's as bad as Devontae, maybe worse. Honestly, he's one of the worst receivers in the league.
I just want to let Connor get a nice Devontae Parker dig in there. Now he's got MVS in there with him. Let's tie them all together, just drag him down.
Yeah, I mean, if MVS's prop wasn't like 15 yards every week, I would just bet the under. But it's like he's out there like half the game, almost the whole game, with Patrick Mahomes and still can't clear 15 yards. What a bum.
It's wild. It's wild. I bet, Connor could probably tackle MVS.
Yeah, I mean, Connor thinks he's really fast still. We had this argument at the bar one night. So, like, Connor has no shot of, like, keeping up with MVS to even, like, try to take him down. The problem is MVS also doesn't catch the ball, so he never needs to be tackled. And that's part of the problem.
That's true.
There's that, too. So, so you can walk away from that game and be like, dude, I would have tackled him, but he never got the ball. Like he cheated.
100%. Yeah, exactly. It's not my fault if he doesn't catch it.
Yeah. He's got to catch it before you can tackle him. Otherwise, that'd be a penalty. Connor's no cheat.
Yeah. Straight arrow.
All right, I'm gonna give you my first one here. This is a little bit different. I've played in this sandbox a little bit, but I haven't gone specifically here ever before. We are going to go with Brock Purdy, getting back on the Brock Purdy train. Longest pass completion, over 40.5 yards. This is minus 110 on DraftKings. This is readily available. You can get minus 110 on MGM as well, 121 on Caesars. Pretty straightforward, to be honest. This is a matchup between the Niners, who lead the league in explosive pass rate. They were facing the Washington Commanders, the defense that allows the highest rate of explosive plays in the league. Now, we just had the injury report come out for the Commanders. They are without both starting cornerbacks, Benjamin St-Juste and Kendall Fuller, and their other starting safety, Percy Butler. So we are running out, again, these guys that have been part of it and allowing the massive explosive plays. These are their best players. Those guys are now out. So we're in a spot here where The 49ers are really hard to pinpoint. Like if you want to play longest, reception, it's like whack-a-mole. Like it could be any guy in any given week because they got so many ways to do it. So like they need this game. They want to bounce back after an ugly loss. Shanahan used to coach here. They fired his dad. He wants to come up to Washington, play the Commanders and absolutely boat race them here. So like even last week, tough game. Purdy didn't look good, struggled. He hit Kittle for a 58-yard catch and run. This is kind of what they do. And you get he's 7 of 8. He's done this in 10 of 15 this year. And like, again, we know yak machine that this team is. Obviously they lead the league in yak per reception. Commanders are the only team that are allowing over 7 adjusted net yards per pass attempt. Like it's just a perfect marriage for this play. 40.5 seems huge, but again, he's done it in 7 of 8. He did it last week when he struggled. So absolutely love the spot. And Purdy, again, you don't have to worry about, is it Kittle? Is it Ayuk? Is it Debo? Is it like McCaffrey? Jennings? Like McCaffrey, it could be any of them. We're going to get 40.5 somewhere, 41 yards for Purdy on one of his completions here. Connor, what do you think here? We haven't dipped our toes in longest completion yet.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I think that's probably the move here because just don't know how competitive Washington's going to be, especially to go back to Sam Howell. You're looking like right before we hop on the show, Jacoby Brissett injured. There was some weird reports, like he hopped on a call and was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play or something like that with Rivera. Very weird, reasoning there about what's going on. But yeah, I think the longest completions or longest, receptions, things like that in this game is probably the move because someone's going to be just not really sure who, to be honest.
Yeah. And we don't have to pick it, Slop. We just pick the quarterback.
No, that's actually the smart move. It's funny because earlier this season I was thinking, how much worse could like Washington be defending the pass? I mean, they are like historically bad, and it's kind of cool that we get to figure that out. You know what I mean? This week with having not their starters in. So, yeah, I don't see how this doesn't hit. The only way this doesn't hit is if Purdy gets pulled, but I think Purdy's going to look like MVP Purdy this week. So he got, you know what I mean? Like, so he's got the whole bad experience last week working with them, kind of going into this week against just, again, a team that can't defend anybody. They couldn't defend Connor.
Here we go. Look at this. I mean, get me out there. I could be burning, what's his name, little 5'7" guy, short king out there that they drafted. Emmanuel Forbes, that was. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Forbes. Forbes weighs. He's like 6'1", 115, soaking wet. So he's going to be supposedly having to cover Ayuk and Debo, and he's been so good that they benched him for part of the season. So he's up. Jartavius Martin, another rookie that they drafted, who's a little bit of a dog, to be honest. Like he came on Illinois, the U of I only produces absolute dogs at cornerback. I think Jartavius Martin has a little bit of that, but he has been cooked in coverage. So like a guy that can tackle at cornerback isn't always great in terms of coverage. That means he gives up a lot of receptions. So they'll be chasing some of these guys down. Maybe they tackle him, maybe they don't, but Purdy will get one that's at least 41 yards this week for sure. So love this one. Wish they had alts, wish we could take over 55.5 for some plus money, but we're not there yet. All right. Spicy time. Connor, back to you. Same game parlays, round robins. What are we doing? And we had some alts that hit last week. So let's keep the train rolling.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something a little fun here. Thinking outside the box. I'm going to release a play because it's part of my alts because I got one more after. So I'm going to release a play at the same time as we talk about the alts. So I'm going with Nico Collins over 59.5 receiving yards as my main play. But I like all the alts, like 100 plus and everything here. I mean, they're fine. CJ Stroud's back, clear concussion protocol. Titans allowing 120 yards per game to outside line, where Nico lines up almost exclusively. Texans without Tank Dell. Nico's like a 28% target share, nearly 3 yards per route run. So we're getting like a massive discount. Great situation. Texans need to win. Like this is one of those things that they're going to be gunning the entire game in a great matchup. And this line's just too low. Like if Stroud had been playing for 2 weeks, like we would see this line in like 70, 73. I don't know if you guys remember, but Nico Collins' line against the Jets opened at 73 without Tank Dell. Now we're getting him at 59 against the Titans. I mean, make it make sense. That's just the logic is not there. So I think we're looking at the alts here. If we go back to my alts last week, Amari smacked. Gabe Davis, alts smacked. Tyreek fell like 10 yards short. DJ Moore got injured in the first play of the game. So I don't even count that one. But if you round robin it like I did, you won some money. You were profitable because half of them hit because you're betting on alts. So this week I like Nico alts like 100 plus. Olave 100 plus, and then two other ones. If Pacheco doesn't play, Mahomes like 325, Mahomes 350, really interesting in my mind. That's a good one. And then one more that I'm kind of eyeing would be maybe some like Bijan Robinson receiving yards. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball that well, but like 40 plus receiving yards, something like that could be kind of fun. As another little alt leg there. But stay tuned, join the Discord. I'll be dropping my alts of the week in there officially, but those are the ones that I like, kind of off the top here on Friday.
Some interesting ones in there for sure. Some stuff, again, we are, typically we're a lot closer in distance to each other. We're both here in the Chicagoland area. Now you're in Mexico, but I feel like our connection's even stronger this week with some of these plays. So there's some stuff in there that I liked here. Slop, what do you got, bud? Where are we going? Where are we going for spicy this week?
Going back to my guy, I'm going to keep betting this until it hits, but anything Jameson Williams. It's Saturday night again. We need more than just one guy on Saturday night, but Jameson Williams, I'm telling you, I'm not stopping with this. Like, he's going to break like a slant route and take it 80 yards, like something stupid like that's going to happen with the way that they're using him. It just hasn't happened yet. So he was on the field, I think 45 plus snaps last 2 weeks. He's running routes. He's getting targeted. I think 6 last week, maybe 7 the week before, something like that. So he's getting looks. All that's fine. He's finishing over 40 yards. I think, again, 80 plus is in play. That's like plus 630 at FanDuel right now. I think you could probably get a better number somewhere else. I'm not looking at Fanatics at the moment, or I think last week was it Caesars that somebody brought in Caesars with I think it was like plus 1200 where we were getting 800 at FanDuel. So I would shop around here, definitely. That's all I'm trying to say. But he's gonna have one. I'm telling you, that's gonna happen. Like the kid is way too fast for that. He's being used in multiple different ways now. They're gonna have to throw the ball here and there. I mean, if they get behind, we're gold. Like, so they can't sit on it with Montgomery, like we were talking about earlier. But man, 80 plus feels good. If you want, I did the 40 plus. It was plus 188. It's plus 130 now. I would take that. I would take that right now, and then cover yourself for your longer leg of the ladder. So yeah, there it is. 1200. Tim Broderick, what's up, dude? That's my guy, Tim. He's an awesome guy. But anyways, yeah, plus 1200 Fanatics. So take Fanatics plus 1200 and then get your 40 plus somewhere else. Now it's a party, because you're going to catch one, and then now you're going to watch for the whole game for the rest of it.
Always going to have at least 2 guys on Saturday nights. I think it's just always, a good line to have, a good way to approach life. Connor, any thoughts on Jamo? I mean, like we've talked about it a few times here recently, just uptick in route participation, targets are up. ADOT fluctuates. You've seen some like really low ADOT games, but like for Jamo, like to Slop's point, he's a catch and run guy too, right? He doesn't matter if it's a deep throw down the field. Part of what we're looking here against the Cowboys team, plays a lot of man, plays a lot of single high. That actually bodes well for some big play stuff too.
Yeah, the man bit is really, I think, important and could lead to a really explosive play for J-Mo, because the rest of the guys, I mean, Amon-Ra can get open in short intermediate spaces against man pretty easily. But, J-Mo is the guy who can take a slant to the house, So I think that's what it'll probably take for you to get 80 plus here. But yeah, I think that's probably a pretty solid angle here. We're waiting for the breakout game. I'm hoping that it's good enough for you to hit and good enough for my golf under to hit, but we'll see there.
Early in the game, they build a lead. So stay with me here. Yep. They build a lead. Now we're just in, we're sitting on the ball from the Lions side. The Cowboys side's looking for Jake, trying to find Jake. Everyone wins.
Love it.
That actually bodes well too for Connor if you want to start to work in some of that like Lions running back stuff. Montgomery, like you're very much telling yourself a story and building out the way that game goes, where it becomes run heavy in the second half. They had a couple of big plays in the passing game, all coming together. You just got to see it. You got to see it. You just got to look.
Artist painting a picture.
Yep. That's really good. So, Connor and I talked briefly before the show, and we ended up both having the Olave play, which we put out as a joint play. Part of it was that I had a play on JSN that I really like, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know why it came down. It's not on the board everywhere, but I like Jackson Smith and Jigba. But I pivoted because in my spicy section, I wanted to talk about Olave because I love the spot for Olave. We talked about the ladders, and then we could also bring in Mike Evans because we have no Marshawn Lattimore here. And, we know that matchup's been kind of, contested over the years, been pretty heated. They've really shut down. Lattimore's been balling, but he hasn't been around for a little while. So 100 on DraftKings, if you can get down. I am not able to on DraftKings. They will allow me to bet 81 cents on 81 this. Cents. 81 cents. 13-1 for 100 plus for both guys. Chris Olave, Mike Evans, 13-1 for 100 yards. Not even like crazy astronomical numbers for these guys. Fanatics, if you just go up to 110 on Fanatics. 110 for Olave, 110 for Mike Evans, 28-1 on Fanatics. That is a fantastic play if you can get down there. You can't get as much, like I think Caesars, I think only has like 95 plus, ESPN the same, and you're like, 6 to 7 to 8 and change, I think. So DraftKings, if you can, 13's nice. If you want to risk it a little bit for another 10 yards, Fanatics, and you can get down, anything there, $20, whatever, 28-1 on those two to go for 110 plus, I think is fantastic look. So you want to add Rashid Shaheed in there for a little bit, like 50 plus. I think Shaheed's very interesting this week. I think his line's all over the place in terms of it's like 30.5 juiced up to some 35s, 36s. Longest reception for Shaheed is very interesting to me at 18.5. Like you could build the same game parlay, put like a low threshold card number in there and build some stuff there. Like we're in Florida. That's gonna be like 65, really nice weather. There's no concerns, even though those guys are outside. Like, I think we get some back and forth stuff. Like Connor mentioned, Carlton Davis is out, Lattimore's out. Like, I think we get a little bit of back and forth in that game, in the passing game especially. So I'd like to just keep it simple with Olave and Evans, but you can add some layers there too and get a nice little same game parlay there. So Slop, any thoughts on the 28-1 from our friends at Fanatics?
I love that. Like, I mean, that's just beautiful. Like, that's a fun game to watch. And I think you're right. I think it can get into back and forth because I think if Tampa wins, they get the division, right? Win either one of the last two games, right? So, yeah, I mean, they want to take care of it here. But the Saints, I mean, not that they don't normally want to win. I'm not really a big into like motivation guy, but at the same time, that does count for something. Like I don't know how much, but you're going to get their best effort. That's all I'm saying. So that should be Olave and Evans feels pretty right.
Yeah. Especially with the secondary injuries. So, all right, good. We are back to some normal stuff. Connor, you want to bring us your third play? And Ryan, folks, too, if you're hanging out with us, again, jump in the chat, fire some stuff at us. We'll get to as many as we can here. It looks like we're trending to have some time here to get some questions. So anything you're looking at for week 17, let us know. All right, Connor.
Yeah, so before I drop my last play here, I want to let the viewers and everyone know and give a quick shout out to producer Sal as our last show together. He'll be moving on. Just want to give a massive shout out. Any graphics, anything, basically the whole reason that this show went to the next level is because of Sal. So, can't thank him enough here. And I didn't want to do it at the end of the show because I wasn't sure. Didn't want people to drop off because it means a lot. He's done a lot for us, and wishing him nothing but the best. So,
damn, again, Connor, just absolutely swiping my host legs out from under me. I had it for the end of the show, but it's okay. Man. I like it. He deserves his flowers now, so we can do it. So again, before Sal jumped in the producer chair, like this was two bozos doing like a poorly produced podcast only. We had no YouTube presence, all the fun stuff like Connor mentioned, by in-show, post-show highlights. Someone's called me the kid from Sandlot the other day, and Sal instantly turned around, graphics and put up my picture as if I was the kid from Sandlot. So like any of the stuff that we've done for social channels, Sal's like pre-show attention to detail in organization is going to be massively missed at 4 for 4. He's also edited nearly everything I've written at 4 for 4 in the past 4 years. Connor as well. So like no one behind the scenes has helped us more in the last 4 years since Connor and I have been here than Sal. So big tip of the cap to you, my friend. We appreciate you very much. We will miss having you around. That is for certain. So best of luck. And again, like shout out to Sal, find him on Twitter. He is just a great dude and we will miss him very much. So cap tip to Sal. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice work, Sal.
100%. All right. Well, on that note, nothing better than to get back to a juicy under. I think that's, this is better. We're going to go with my guy, Gabe Davis, under 36.5 receiving yards. His like spike games have actually been really predictable. We talked about his alts last week. He has 3 games with 0 receiving yards and 2 games with 100 receiving yards since Joe Brady took over. Like we look at him basically against teams that have bad secondaries. He's crushed teams with good secondaries, not really playing all that well. He's faced the Patriots 7 times in his career, play a lot of man, play kind of aggressive defense, just 23 yards per game, highest total 41 yards in those 7 games. So, not expecting a big day from him here. Probably also likely very run heavy again, even though the matchup doesn't call for it. The game script almost certainly does. So not expecting a lot of volume, not expecting, them to push the ball downfield here. So I could also see him getting Diggs more involved after he's been like basically non-existent, and Kincaid more involved, non-existent for a while. So I think 36.5 is a bit too high here. So give me the under there.
Man, I've been giving the unders away from the show, but you came back with it today. So, Slop, I don't know if you heard anything he said.
I didn't hear anything. What did he say? I stopped listening to that under.
His mic went out.
I agree. I love the fact that he has the balls to go right back to Davis, but with the under. But I think he's right. Like it's boom or bust. Like literally, Gabe Davis. So
yep.
Yeah,
there is that.
Good. I think that's a good handicap there. Slop, what do you got for us?
All right, we're gonna go to the Giants Rams. Trying to find a reason to watch this game. So I was thinking Darren Waller, 41.5 or over 41.5 receiving yards. It's plus 105 at ESPN Bet. It's still there. Across the market, you could get lower, like over 30, I think 8.5, and it's like minus 120-ish. So I just like, all right, give me a few more yards, give me the plus money. So that's why I did it there. So just look around, see what's good for you. But Tyrod Taylor starting, and he loves Darren Waller, guys. Like he does. You can just see it, like the look in his eyes, like Darren Waller, whenever Tyrod Taylor's out there, like they love each other. Because like last week, Tyrod Taylor comes in, immediately Darren Waller catches 2 balls. It was the last drive. It was late, but I'm just saying Tommy Cutlets couldn't get the ball anywhere near the guy. So, I mean, he targeted him early in the game. Waller did drop one. Not his fault, though. Ball was probably slick. Maybe it was thrown a little hard. Maybe it had some, like, Veal Cutlet grease on it or something. I don't know. But whenever Tyrod Taylor throws that ball, he catches it. 2 games started by Tyrod Taylor this season. He went over this number in both of them, like 5 for 40-something on one, and then like 7 for like 90-something in another. Look, Tyrod Taylor's no quitter. I mean, he's been in the league forever, so he's coming out. I think the Rams score all over the Giants, so we should get game script kind of pushing us if we can't get it early. So let's go.
I like this quite a bit. There's also a 3.5 receptions at minus 115 out there as well. So that is on my list of things that I was going to rattle off today. But yeah, we are. Gosh, I feel good about week 17, guys. Yep. I feel like there's just good juju going on here. Maybe the time slot. I don't know what's going on. Like it just feels. It's like
they
a
call
new
it
year
synergy.
Coming.
Synergy on the streets. Yep.
Oh yeah,
a lot of stuff going on here. All right, I don't have a third official because I talked about like one of JSN, then it was going to be Olave, and Connor did it, and we kind of did it. So I'm going to give a few. 2 of them have already been mentioned. One was Waller over 3.5 receptions. I think that's a great look. Shockingly, one I even touched and told you guys briefly before the show. I had one that I like quite a bit. It's kind of gross, and I thought you guys would hate it, especially Connor. And Connor mentioned it. Bijan Robinson, from a receiving standpoint, is very interesting here. I think that the Falcons are going to really struggle to run the football. The Bears' run D has been fantastic. No team has given up more receiving yards by like a massive margin than the Bears. Second in targets, second in receptions allowed, but receiving yards by far the most. I think 22.5 is the line for Bijan, and we typically stay away from like running back receiving because it's really tough and I don't know, it's tricky. So 3.5 receptions plus money is out there too. Guy had 10 targets last week. Looking at some of the Heineke starts, Heineke has favored checkdowns to Bijan, and it sets up as a good spot for him as well. 31 routes run, 10 targets last week. So however you want to play it, whether it's 22.5 yards or the 3.5 receptions at plus money, I think those are both quite interesting. I'll mention JSN. JSN was at 40.5 receiving yards. DK popped up on the injury report. Like he probably plays. A guy never misses anything, but like pop up midweek in the injury report. The back injury is not great. So like either way, JSN's been playing more. Great matchup against the Steelers, who struggle against slot receivers. They're absolutely decimated defensively. linebacker, safety. Like they're putting, corners at safety. It is bad there. So JSN has been really good. Receptions is juiced, but I like his receiving yards. I like his longest reception as well. I think he's cleared the longest reception number when it was out there, like 7 of 8. So those are really nice. I mentioned Rashid Shaheed earlier. I think he's a great play. You can find ways like I played Cooper Kupp over 5.5 receptions on FanDuel, but it was kind of like a one-off. It's juiced up everywhere, but like, I don't know, Cooper Kupp stuff. Like he had 12 targets last week, only caught 5 balls. I agree with Slop. I think he finds a way to, kind of toast this Giants D. Puka as well, 5.5 balls. I think is a great number and great look. Those are all in play. And then the one, I don't know how to play it yet, but we got to go back to the well. I am dying to get my money back from Jaren Hall. Jaren Hall, rushing number. I played here when he got that one start, over 16.5 rushing yards, 11 on his first drive, was going to cruise and gets concussed on that first drive. So it opened up at 26.5. That's a little rich. I still think he goes over it. I really, really genuinely do. But like, what do? We probably just play alts instead of the 26.5. We maybe ladder it. I don't know. I have interest in Jaren Hall. I don't know how to play it yet. And I haven't been able to find like the best number because some books have limited stuff that's out there. But Jaren Hall owes us money. We're going to get it somehow this week. I don't know what to do. Connor, any thoughts on those? I'm echoing your Bijan love. Any thoughts on Jaren Hall or anything else that I touched on?
Yeah, I almost don't know about Bijan because I really like it, but like if they specifically game plan to get him the ball at all in the receiving game, he's going to smash the props like 21.5 yards. If they don't, then it's probably just like slightly better than 50-50 because like needs to naturally occur. But then I just don't trust Arthur Smith. So I'm almost like 30 plus, probably a plus money, or maybe 25 plus into plus money. If you can get that, both those I think are great looks. Because I do think it's better than 50-50 odds. I just don't know about Arthur Smith. I hate betting on that guy. Lost too much money to him. The last one there, Jaren Hall, I think is interesting. Is there a longest rush? I mean, is that maybe the move?
There is. I think it's 12.5.
Jesus.
If he's getting that, I mean, he's going to get the 25.
Yeah.
I thought you'd maybe get like 8 or 9, like something like that. One that I thought was crazy that popped up.
Plus 100, 12.5, sorry, on DraftKings.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe see how that settles and get 11.5, and maybe it might be worth it. Jarrett Stidham's rushing prop opened. Did you see this number, Noonan?
No.
34.5 rushing yards. Someone played it, and I was like, "Is that a typo?" I mean, he's not like, I mean, he like can move, but like he's not like running quarterback. Yeah, I was like, what? So yeah, some people got some great numbers on that. I think it's still around, depending on your shop. If you can get that, honestly, even the high 20s, I think it's probably still a good look. I don't know. Thought that was a wild one.
Yeah, that's really. What am I missing here? Is this a thing? So yeah, we just don't have a big sample. So he had 34 and 50 in his 2 starts last year when he came in for Carr and the Raiders. So we're definitely basing it off of that. Previous games, yeah, he's seven attempts in both games.
I mean, I don't know. I really think that was probably a function of whatever was going on in Las Vegas, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he's a scrambler.
You're muted, Ryan.
Uh-oh. I think Noonan's mic might be kaput again. Look at that.
Your mic's gone. We can't hear you. You got to sign it. So.
Look at that. Uh-oh. I'm out here in the Mexican streets, and I got better connection. But the lighting is trash. Someone pointed it out.
There goes that synergy.
Yeah, right.
We had it going. Right, hats off to us. Now, I thought of Ryan when I saw that Jaren Hall was starting. I was like, all right, so rush yards like right away. They're probably going to give us kind of what we want since he left so early last time. But it was kind of obvious that they did want to run it with him. So that's huge. And then the Bijan thing, if you want to get your running back the ball and have him be effective against the Bears, you have to throw it to him. Like, I don't think you can run on them. Like, they they legitimately have a good run defense. Like they're a problem. So, but then like you said, Connor, if we're betting on Arthur Smith to figure that out. And it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, to be honest with you, man, like I don't even know if I would hire him to like mow my yard. Like seriously, like I don't know that he would be able to like figure out like the best way to do it. So yeah, that's a tough one.
I can confidently say that trust fund baby Arthur Smith has never mowed a lawn in his entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no shot.
Yeah, so then I would not hire him to mow the yard. If he came by on his bike and said, "Hey, Slob, can I mow this for you for $60?" like the kids do, I'd be like, "No, man, no." Like you give me $60, I'll let you mow my yard.
Oh my god!
Just let him shovel your driveway.
No, he'd fuck that up, man. I'm serious. Like he would. Like it would not be good. I don't think.
He would have a snowplow or like a snowblower and use like a kid's shovel, like to shovel the driveway.
Yeah.
Like that's what he would do.
Like, I'm gonna shovel. You're like, buddy, you don't know how to use the snowblower, do you? That's what it is. You didn't choose to do the shovel. Like no one chooses that.
All right, let me give some defensive stuff here real quick, and then we'll get to the chat. Again, fire off anything you got in the chat here. Let's see what we're looking at. Sacks is not great this week. So like great spot for the Rams typically because it's the Giants, but the Giants has been like, it's been like Daniel Jones and Tommy Cutlets. Is that like Tyrod still? So I don't know how much that translates. Niners may be back on the board now if it's going to be Sam Howell. The Niners are priced out a little bit, so I have to look more into that as that adjusts. Texans, I want, a good spot for the Texans against whoever's going to be quarterback here for the Titans. But again, we have a lot of injuries. So like, is Jonathan Grenard playing? Is Will Anderson playing? Still waiting on those injury reports. Good spot for the Jags. So my favorite sack play is probably Josh Allen here against the Panthers. Allen, I think, is over 0.75 sacks. So you just need him to get a full sack on DraftKings. I think he's minus 120. So probably my favorite sack play on the board. As far as tackles go, we mentioned a few things here. So a few spots that I'm looking at. We have some lines posted for Rams Giants. But we are still waiting on the injury report at the cornerback position. So I think we have some corners that I want to play. Once we get the status of Deonte Banks, we'll probably get both Banks and Adoree Jackson posted. And I want to see what their solo tackle numbers are, what the price and the tackles number are there. So cornerback specifically against the Rams. So quarterbacks in general, the league average is about 13 tackles per game. The Rams, 17.5, by far the most in the league. It's actually the only team in the league where cornerbacks are the leading tacklers against them on average per game. So in cornerbacks typically don't get a lot of assists because of where they get their tackles. So I would look for solos. We don't have to pay basically for assists that we're not even going to get. So wait and see what the solo numbers are for Jackson and Banks. Also think it's a great spot for the Raiders on the road in Indy. Indy runs a lot of plays. I think fourth most tackle opportunities per game, good scorekeeper situation, probably positive game script here with Indy running a lot with a lead. The Raiders are interesting and alive for the playoffs, but like the offense is pretty inept. It hasn't been very good. It's shocking that they won that game last week. Did not complete a pass for 3 quarters. So on the Raiders side, Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo, Max Crosby, their tackle numbers are going to be something I'm looking for when they come out. So those are my defensive looks so far. We'll have some more waiting for quite a bit on the tackle side. They're pretty slow to release so far this week. So we'll jump into that. So Connor, you want to lead us through some of these questions here in the chat?
Let's do it. Quick one here from Jeff. I could send over a couple of girls from Banana to mow Slop's lawn, but it won't cost $60. So Slop, if you're willing to pony up, it'd be worth it.
We can negotiate.
Yeah, I'm not sure the wife and kids would be too pleased about that, but hey, I think it'd be good.
Probably got to do it on like a day where they're not here. Probably me too, but still, whatever. Give the neighbor a show, I guess.
It's so good. Timothy Holder, let's do it. Jet Slop, we're gonna do the 10K this weekend. So what's the schedule looking like? Are you doing the ladder with the college football games or only NFL?
All right, so here's how I think it's gonna work. Obviously we win Saturday night, so now we're 2 bets away. So now I find a book that'll take $2,500. But not easy. I didn't know it was gonna be that hard.
That's my question. How are you going to bet 5K?
That's the thing. I don't know. So Caesars is where I had to go for the Ferguson move, and they took it. FanDuel would only take like 500, and then DraftKings is gone. They took 700 the other day. I have no idea how that happened. That was they're now off the board as well. BetMGM is not an option, and neither is ESPN Bet. So hopefully Caesars, or else like one of my kids is gonna get into gambling or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But it'll probably be Sunday because there's enough NFL. I want to stick with the NFL. Like, I've been doing well with the receiving props. The whole thing has been NFL, so I feel like just keep it. Dude, all you do is hit 7 in a row. It sounds like it's not that hard when you think, if you're being selective. I mean, I'd like to fire away, so I see how it could be hard that it would be 7 in a row. You know what I mean? But when you are pretty selective and like the ones that you're like, dude, there's no way that loses. It's not that hard, I don't think. I think we can do it. So just stick with a bet on Sunday, and then there's probably no chance that I'll be able to get $5,000 down anyways for the Monday night college football games. But I would probably do it then.
Love it. Yeah, I think the way you got to do it is so close to lock, like an hour before lock, or maybe like 12 hours. FanDuel changes all of their props to -110 and starts taking like good action, like 2,500, 1,000 plus.
Really?
But it's only like right before the game. So like that is good. Caesars usually takes 1,000 plus. So you're probably just gonna have to mix and match. That's what I would do at least.
Yeah, because that's what I was getting scared to do. So I was like, all right, I kind of could do is 43.5. And I was like, I'll take that. I tried to bet my house like responsibly, and they would only take $500. Yeah, obviously, clearly. So then I was like, oh shit, well, I'm just gonna wait because I already had like a great idea for like the TikTok video, which came out awesome, by the way. Hats off to me. But anyway, so like I was ready to do that and I was getting mad. So I was like, damn, I'm ready to do this now, but I can't. And then Caesars and everybody came out with 40, I guess 5.5, which was, obviously it's 2 yards higher. But I was like, you know what, I'll take that. Like I think he's going 50 plus. So then I tried Caesars and they just took it. So I never thought about it again until like just the other day, like later on, I was like, you know what? How the hell am I getting 2,500 down? Like, it's not even a lot of money. Like when you think about it, like, there's guys that are betting like, real money here. And like, I don't know how they do it, but I mean, I'm just like $2,500 doesn't feel like that much. Like you can find one book, right?
It's just all about accounts. That's the name of the game for these guys. Like you have to have like so many different accounts or like good ones like FanDuel and things like that. And that's how they do it. It's like they just use like 50 different accounts basically.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of work, man. Feels like I need like multiple computer screens. I'm not a 3 computer screen guy. You know what I mean? I'm more just like give me a phone and an account. Just let me go. Just let me cook.
I mean, these guys have teams, Slop. Like they have teams.
Yeah.
Just to bet money.
I've read into like how like that guy Spanky does it.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically rumors. I didn't really read into how he actually does it. It's basically just rumors. But like it's fascinating. You're like, holy shit! Like this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And here I am just firing away like hammered from about to jump in the shower.
Between rolls of the bowling alley,
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I think that guy goes 50 plus. Let's go. All right, so I'll try that though. So right before the game, maybe that'll happen. But then like the TikTok video takes a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so good though.
Yeah.
Video is so good it won't even matter.
Newton, I'm curious to your thoughts here. Jahmyr Gibbs, longest rush. DK took it down. I'm sure he'll come back. Thoughts? Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's been one of those ones that's like we did it with Kenneth Walker for a while. Sometimes just auto. Nick Chubb is just an auto play. They just don't adjust it enough, and
rest in peace.
Yeah, these guys just going over 20, 25 on one pop a game, and they just never put it over 16.5, 17.5. So yeah, Gibbs makes a ton of sense.
100%. All right, I'm thinking about picking Washington and Arizona in a parlay against the spread. Not for me with Sam Howell, but I don't know. Any interest, guys?
What Washington, like the Commanders?
Also, the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, yeah.
I'm way out on that. Like, I didn't even know why you would do that. Like, just like find a charity, Joe. You know what I mean? Just throw that cash there.
All right, slop all the way out on the.
Joe, I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I like the wild stuff, but I mean, I'll tell you right now, the 49ers are gonna curb stomp them.
Yeah,
that's not gonna be fun to have a Washington money line ticket on. Like that's just like I don't know. I'd rather I'd rather go to church than like do that. You know what I mean? Than watch that that ticket.
All right, slop not holding back tonight. I love it.
Shout out to church. Well, again, he's been in the Bible, Connor. He's been in the Bible.
Sunday morning church is tough, guys. I'm just saying. It's right after Saturday night, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that's why you just do your Bible reading at home. You know what I mean?
Yep. I read the whole thing. Nothing about Mims in the whole thing.
No Mims.
Yeah, but now we have Jared Stidham. I mean, the Bible clearly was not strong enough to keep Russ around. You know, so now it's over. All that whole narrative. Now I think
kind of took a hit with that benching, huh? You know what I mean? Like, ooh, like God's got you, huh? It's like, yikes.
Bible's down bad. Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
Man, let's see here. Justin Watson over 20. I'm looking at it. I mean, it's juiced to shit right now across the board. I don't see a reason not to play it again. I mean, that was like literally the worst playing I think of the Chiefs' offensive career, and Watson's still at like 35 plus. You know, I think it's pretty solid. Any Justin Watson thing? I feel like I'm becoming a Justin Watson guy.
You are.
Kind of a brand.
And you hated him too. Because I said his name earlier in the season, and you were just like, "Fuck that guy." And then now, like you're like, I'm with you, man. I don't know what to do with him, but he somehow catches a bomb like every game. It feels like so.
Yeah, ladders or longest would be the way to go for me if you're going to do it. I don't hate it. Fewer guys there.
Yeah, there's no one else to throw it.
Yeah.
Mahomes obviously likes him, right? I mean, like so. There's that.
We found him on 2 broken plays last week. So it was like broken plays and like, you know, he was like his go-to guy, after the route was done. So I don't know, kind of interesting.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but at some point in that game, the Rice kid just didn't put his hands up for a ball or something. The camera pans to Mahomes and he's just telling him like, just put your hands up like that. I was like, God damn, like that's bad. You know, because like he was right. When you watch the replay again, you're like, oh yeah, like the throw wasn't really there, but like just
try.
Just like pick your hands up and like try to catch it, even though it's not like right in your numbers. I was just like, dude, did he just do that? But so maybe a little frustration. I don't know. Like he doesn't do that to Justin.
Noonan. So Puka Nacua did not practice today. Both are expected to play, but if you're considering making a move on Cooper Kupp, you know, this seems like a pretty solid time. So.
Yeah, like I said, I played the over 5.5 at -122 on FanDuel, but it was like I didn't push it out to subscribers. It was -148 or something on DraftKings, and that's like -150 and stuff elsewhere. So I played it because I thought it was a good number and it was going to go away. But you could take alts on Cooper Kupp. Again, 12 targets last week. Like, it's just one of those games where his box score just didn't look as good as Puka's, but he was still heavily involved. So.
Yeah, everyone took the Kupp alts too, and no one took the Puka alts last week, so it's tough.
Yeah.
Let's hear Olave points bet at 81. I hate taking high points bet overs, but you know what? Let Jimmy cook. Why not?
You know, points betting might be a good option for Jared Hall.
Definitely a good option for Jared Hall.
Yeah,
he could run for 80.
Yeah.
One play.
You want to explain points bet for people, like points betting for people if they're new to the show?
Yeah, real quick. So if he ends up with 100 yards, you win 19 times whatever your wager is. So if you put down $10, you'd win $190. So 19 times your wager. But if you end up with 60 yards, you lose 21 times your wager. So you would lose $210. So I mean, I've said it's literally options for sports betting. I mean, I have won a shitload of money. I have lost my fucking ass on this shit. I mean, I'm talking like thousands in one single swoop because I got absolutely railed. So wasn't great, but you know, hey, just bet responsibly and don't be a degenerate like me sometimes. So I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I've always thought like low, receiving over like a Justin Watson,
Right.
Quarterback rushing, like things we're talking about that are like where we would take ladders, but you'd want it to be low. Like you want it to be in like the 20s where your risk is mitigated a little bit because the number is not so high. You start chasing these like alpha receiver overs in points betting is just a death sentence.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably good for your account management, but not good for your bankroll.
Yeah, there's no way I could do that.
No.
Dude, I'd be homeless in like a weekend.
You got to put it out too. Like they hold a chunk of it, so like you have to
you gotta have it.
To have it in your account.
No IOUs.
No, it's not
It's
a credit
just
book.
as good as cash.
Yeah, you're gonna want to keep that one.
$250K for a Lamborghini. Might want to hang on to that one.
That's so good. Let's hear it. The question of the day: what kind of defense will Slot be calling for the fourth graders? Box and one zone, man. Like, what kind of defense are they running?
All right, so at the fourth grade level, you have to play man-to-man, just because there's literally only a certain area where these kids can score the ball from. So if you wanted to, you could just line all the kids up. But you know what I mean? Like the 3-point line does not matter in fourth grade basketball. So you got to play man-to-man, which is a good rule. The other coaches, they go to zone. Like they say they're lagging off. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she's covered. It's like, dude, no, she's not. You know what I mean? Like you're putting kids in the middle. We have a plan for that. It's fine. We don't do that though, because we're not cheats here in Tewksbury. We play by the rules, and we play man-to-man. We see what we can do. We're 1-1 so far in the tournament, and today's the last game. This team has fifth graders on it, so not great. Again, something we would never do here in Tewksbury. Just saying, we'd never do something like that. But I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to go in. We're going to play hard, crash the boards, get some rebounds, play some defense. Let's go. But man-to-man, Jeff.
Man-to-man, interesting. I would say fuck them kids and play zone the entire game, but
the refs don't call it. Some refs call it, some refs don't. So it's a tough look. You know what I mean?
I love how the refs call it. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's an interesting rule. Yeah.
Well, think about it like this though, guys. All right. So the first thing I thought was like, why the hell would we ever do this? Like that's dumb. You know, because like when picks happen, kids don't switch, kids wide open. You know, but if like it doesn't take Coach K to figure out that they can only score literally from like 2-3 feet away from the basket. So like, why wouldn't you just put 3 kids in the middle, right?
Right there.
Just put them right in front of the basket, and then 2 kids in front of them, and then every time someone comes near the basket, the 2 kids go up with their, you know what I'm saying, with their hands up, and the other 3, like it would be the dumbest looking game you've ever seen in your life. So like, if you were actually smart, that's what you do. So so I bet you some guy did that, and that's how we got here. You know what I mean? Like there's
a 2-3 zone in the paint. Literally just like put them all in the paint.
I die laughing whenever I see the teams out past the 3-point line trying to defend. You're like, what are you doing? Like, you know, she's going that way. You know where she's going. And it's always like a kid that's slower than like the kid with the ball who's like generally pretty quick. So they run right by that kid. And it's just like, dude, now it's a fast break. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? just put them all inside the 3-point line and let's see what's what.
So
you're coaching everyone to go under the screen. These kids are all going under. No one's chasing over the screen.
We're helping. We got called actually for double teaming. Not a double team the other night. It was great help defense. Great help defense. Got the steal. They stopped it and was like, I was like, guys, you'll catch up one day that was great help defense.
That's good.
Coached a lot of fourth grade basketball in my time. We always ran zone, but we never had a rule where we couldn't. So
see what I'm saying? Zone is the obvious choice for a defense.
Oh, for sure.
Like, why would you ever play, man? But I do get it. I was like, you know what? I kind of get this, because we're gonna go to zone the second we get to 6th grade. Definitely, there's no chance for playing man with the crew we got, but we're gonna learn how the next couple of years. See what's happening.
Just run a 1-3-1 trap back into a 2-3 and
love the 1-3-1 trap. Wow. Yeah. We should start our own basketball coaching podcast.
We should.
Let's talk X's and O's, baby, for kids.
I could do it all day.
Big moving pink guy. I said, just act like you fell. Just fall down. Just go there. Just walk up and just fall down. That way they have to run around you.
Yeah.
That's so good. All right. I think the people have 2 more quick questions. Actually, Jeff Senberg, another one. Kicker prop of the week. Justin Tucker over 7.5 kicking points. I don't know if Jeff is lost. I think he wins every single kicking prop. So
no,
he doesn't. I bet the one last time. Greg Zerlin. I don't know whatever he sent last. He tweeted at me last night, and I bet it, and shout out to him and won. So that was awesome. Jeff keeps crushing kicker props. Love that. And then last question here. I've been backing McCaffrey anytime touchdown in the first half. His splits are touchdown in the first half, for the second are massive slanted. If you are an anytime touchdown guy, I think this makes sense, especially in a game where they're 14-point favorites.
I've seen people talking about this because I think the anytime touchdown numbers are just getting like to the point where they're like unbettable. It's like minus 350 or whatever. So yeah.
Like what world is this? But we're all monkeys and just bet it anyways. It's like all we got to do is give a little pushback. Just say, nope, not betting it. You got to get a better price. But we'll never do that because we're just a bunch of guys that will bet whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
You see it in home runs in baseball all the time now. It's like it's getting to the point. It's like a guy's like plus 185. It's like, dude, like really? Like he's gonna get up 600 times this year and hit like 40 of them. Like we're betting plus 185. Like what are we doing?
Crazy.
Yeah, the math isn't math in there, Slop.
No.
I'm not even a math guy.
Love it. Well, I think that's about it for questions. A little bit light today with our early start time here, but we had an hour anyway, so love it.
Get that.
I think we killed it.
I think we killed it. Slop can get to his incredible man-to-man coaching. Really look forward. As a game streamed on YouTube, can we watch it?
I wish it was. It's not gonna be. I think, like I said, I think it's gonna be a tough game today because like this team does have fifth graders on it. I know for a fact. I already checked, so it's not gonna be easy. Probably not one where the crowd's gonna love, but
yeah,
we're gonna play anyways.
You're gonna do what I always did in high school. A little antagonistic by nature. Always like to just kind of find the guy that you want to get out of the game. I'm a big pincher. Just give him a little pinch.
No,
you put your hand on his hip. Yeah, just put your hand on the hip. You get real annoyed. Eventually, they're going to swing or swat at your hands. You just do it at the right time when you're right by the ref. Just put your hand out like you're just kind of trying to check him, make sure you know where he's at. Just give him a little pinch. One of those ones a little annoying. You get a free foul out of it. So
I'm a big get him fouled out of the game. Huge.
Totally.
Like the first I see a kid that's pretty good, you're just like, all right, kid. Like I know you're nice, but like we're gonna get you fouled out of here. Like we can't have you out here because you're too good.
Yeah.
So you spread everyone out 5 out and just have them go directly at them. They're gonna foul you because they're a little kid. They don't know. They're not great yet. You know what I mean? So that generally works. But in the tournaments, it does not because it's all about keeping it on schedule. So there's no fouls. You know what I mean? Like yeah, just keep it going. So you got to have some blood. Guy told me yesterday that 4 or 5 girls get hit on every play in the face and that they don't complain about it. And I'm just like, I wasn't even talking to you, 1. And 2, that's not true. That's not true. Like there's 1 kid's getting hit in the face. They start crying. So who got hit in the face. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Fun stuff. Volunteer in your local community, guys. If you're watching this, go down to the rec center. Tell them you want to coach some ball. I'm telling you, New Year's resolution, you should do that.
It is fantastic. Love it.
It's awesome.
Absolutely love it. So, all right. Again, good stuff as always. We appreciate it. Come back, hit that subscribe, that like button. Again, podcast, YouTube channel, wherever you're watching. We appreciate it. Again, want to shout out Sal. Sal, we will miss you, buddy. So for Connor and Slop and producer Sal, I'm Ryan. We'll see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.